Whether you're a fan of Fender amps or not, everyone has heard of the Fender Princeton amps, but many people have never heard of the Harvard, which is a vintage amp that Fender made from 1955 until 1963. Fender then built some solid-state versions of the Harvard in the early 80s. This is a 1981 Fender Hard Reverb. You don't see or hear a lot about these mighty little solid-state amps, and there isn't a lot of information online about them. Now, contrary to some information online, these were not designed and built during the Paul Revere era. His run came just a little later than this amp, and there were Harvard Reverb 2s built during his short run with the company, but I honestly don't know if he had any hand in those. Now, there were two different versions of this amp, the Reverb version and the regular version. Now, you can find the Reverb version every now and again around $200, and for whatever reason, the non-reverb version sells for $500 to $600. It might be a little more rare, I'm not sure. I picked this one up at my local musical round. It was kind of an impulse buy because I had some credit left over after trading in some gear, and it caught my eye. It was dirty and dusty and full of cobwebs in the back, but it cleaned up easy, and it just has a sound to it that I really enjoy. Since then, I've found the manual online, and I learned a different way of using it that makes it sound even better. Well, it sounds great alone. I also use it as a pedal platform, and I've just started using it to test pedals for review because I think it does a good job representing the natural sound of the pedal running through an amp. The front of the amp is super simple. Two inputs, one for regular inputs and the other to accommodate equipment with higher outputs such as active pickups, and you can use them both at the same time. Then you have your volume, your bass, your treble, reverb, and a master with a pull-out boost and an ugly big old power button. On the back you have your primary fuse, a coax input for using a simple one-button foot switch for turning your reverb on and off, and you also have a speaker fuse, headphone jack, a line-out jack, and an on-off switch for your speaker, so you can turn the speaker off when you're using line out or headphones. Now you might be asking, do you really have to switch the speaker off when using headphones? Doesn't it automatically do that? The answer is yes, you do have to, and no, it doesn't automatically switch off. Why? I guess that's just the way it was built. Now down on the bottom there you do see a reverb tank. It's not the best reverb tank, but it's not bad. When I first got it, it had the stock factory speaker in it, and it sounded a bit crackly as if it was blown, especially when you had the reverb on. I replaced it with a Jensen special design for about $50, and I've been really happy with that speaker and the way it sounds in this amp. And with the volume, you can control how much drive it has and push it to the point of breakup, which works great when you want to boost it with an overdrive. As mentioned, the master features a pull-out boost, and when used in conjunction with the volume, you can get a good nice tone that is close to that of a valve amp. The manual says to crank the master to 10 and then use the volume to control it, and that works fantastic, but when I'm playing and not recording, I like to pull that boost out there and put it at about 2 or 3, and it is nice and loud. And for a 20-watt practice amp, this ugly little thing can get loud. Add a dirty drive pedal to it and she sounds mean. Although it's mainly a practice amp, you could definitely gig with it in a small venue, either mic'd up or not, and that's dependent on a lot of other factors. So the main reason I wanted to make this video is because I really like this amp and it's become one of my favorites, and I wanted to put out some more information out there and show people how it sounds. There are a few other videos out there on YouTube, but I wanted to go a little more in depth. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and please subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.